This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Good morning. We are back on the air now with breaking news from the Supreme Court closing out its term with what could be the most important abortion case in 25 years. It comes from Texas. Whole Women's Health versus Hellerstedt, and the decision strikes down a state bill that seeks to place restrictions on abortion providers and facilities. A 5-3 decision. Justice Kennedy joining the court's liberals. Let's go to ABC's Terry Moran, our Supreme Court expert. And Terry, a fairly sweeping decision.
It's a big decision, George. You're absolutely right. This is the biggest abortion decision in a quarter century. Previously, it was known in constitutional law from the Supreme Court that a woman has a right to choose to terminate a pregnancy, and the state has a right to protect the life of the fetus up to a certain point, as long as it doesn't put an undue burden on the woman's right to choose. What does that mean, an undue burden? Texas tested that. They had those two requirements, that an abortion doctor must have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital, and that wherever you perform an abortion must be that have the same facilities as a mini hospital, as an ambulatory surgical center. That closed about half or more than half of the abortion providers in Texas. And today the Supreme Court said that went too far. Texas put an undue burden on a woman's right to choose. Justice Stephen Breyer taking those laws one at a time, saying that the public health interest that Texas claimed, that they're trying to protect women's health, wasn't enough, that this simply prevented women from choosing their constitutional right to terminate a pregnancy. In dissent, Clarence Thomas, Chief Justice John Roberts, and Justice Samuel Alito. Of course, so this was a 5-3 decision. Justice Antonin Scalia, who was a fervent opponent of abortion, not in this case. This is a major victory for pro-choice advocates. It means that the conservative effort in state after state to limit abortions through things like a woman must get a sonogram, or a woman must have a conversation with a doctor about abortion before she chooses to have an abortion, that those are now under threat. And the campaign to limit abortions through public health issues, that has been dealt a serious blow in this case.
Okay, Terry Moran, thanks. ABC's Mary Bruce is at the Supreme Court right now. Anti-abortion activist and pro-choice activist both on the steps there this morning. And Mary, this is certain to go right into the heart of the presidential campaign. We've already heard from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely. This ruling underscores what is at stake in the presidential election. Remember, this is the first major case to be heard since the death of Justice Scalia. And as lawmakers continue to show no signs of being willing to hear or consider the president's replacement for that vacancy, it will be up to the next president to fill that slot. Hillary Clinton already reacting this morning on Twitter. She says that this fight isn't over. The next president has to protect women's health. Meanwhile, George, the consequence of this decision is being felt in all of the emotion here this morning. Abortion rights advocates are celebrating. It's a party right here. Many of these people have been lining up since 4 a.m. to witness this moment here in person. But George, for all the jubilation, there is also profound disappointment here from supporters of this law who felt that this was necessary. These restrictions were necessary to protect women's health. High emotions on both sides here at the court this morning.
And I'm sure we'll be hearing from Donald Trump as well soon. Mary Bruce, thanks very much. We're going to return now to regular programming. For many of you, that is Good Morning America. You can get the latest news anytime on abcnews.com, plus a full wrap-up tonight on World News. Have a good day.
This has been a special report from ABC News.